Alrighty, let me get this set up. Okay. Let me share my screen here. Okay. See if this works. Hopefully, oops, move this out of the way. Okay. Alrighty, let's jump in. So I am talking all to my ladies in perimenopause who've been struggling with trying to eat clean and you're gaining weight, right? You're thinking, oh my God, this used to work. This worked in my 20s. I would cut out sugar. I would cut out eating out so much. And I would drop 5, 10 pounds, no problem. And now I'm in perimenopause and it doesn't work. What's happening to me? Is it my hormones? Well, maybe, but you also might have had some other stuff going on when you were younger that you no longer have. I'm going to talk about that in this video, okay? So there are things that specifically biologically have happened to you since you started about age 30, we'll call it, for most people. And when you don't adjust your nutrition to account for that and your workouts to account for that, this is what I see. People eat clean and they don't lose weight. They've stalled progress or even gain weight, unfortunately, more in their 30s, 40s, and beyond. Okay, so if that's happened to you, this video is for you. I'm going to give you 3 actionable tips and a free gift at the end of this. So let's jump in. So tip number 1, even if you eat clean, you might not have the right balance of protein, carbs, and fat. These are your macronutrients, right? These are the things that your calories are made up of. And just eating clean, it's great for health, but not necessarily body composition. Body composition is the muscle to fat ratio you have in your body. And most people want more muscle and less fat, right? Muscle is the organ of longevity. We want that for our long-term health. But in terms of body fat, nobody wants that really, right? Nobody wants that. We don't want to feel fluffy, right? So we want to feel good in our bodies. And to do that, you need more muscle, less fat. So eating clean is great. I love the concept of eating clean, like you're not going through drive-throughs, you're not eating a bunch of processed crap, you're not eating seed oils and inflammatory foods, you're focused on high quality ingredients and high quality brands. Maybe you're eating organic fruits and vegetables, grass-fed beef, stuff like that, right? But just doing that alone is good for health, but it's not necessarily going to give you the right balance of macronutrients to tell your body that we want more muscle and less fat. So we have to adjust our protein, carbs, and fat ratios. And I like to do about at least like 30% to 35% protein. And then honestly, 30 to 35%. And guess what? Also 30 to 35% fat. So you got to find the right balance in there for you. But typically it's like if you want to eat like 30% protein and then split the other 2 evenly, that's fine. That's a great place to start. But you got to get the right calories for your body, for your metabolic needs, and making sure you're eating in the right balance of calories for your body and what you're looking for, right? That's a different video altogether. Okay, so tip number 2, You want to eat to protect your muscle first and foremost. Fat loss should become like the secondary thought because you have lost muscle. This is the thing I was talking about earlier. You have lost muscle since you turned 30. You've been losing muscle and you didn't even know it because it's been happening so dang slow that you don't notice it. But you do notice things like, well, I used to eat the same exact things that I eat now, but now I'm gaining 5, 10 pounds a year. What gives? So if that's you, then you're literally losing muscle. And that's what's going on because muscle is providing you a sink to store more carbohydrate in your body, more of that glucose in the form of, usually glycogen. So if you don't have as much muscle, you don't have the storage capacity. So the only thing would be to either drop your calories from carbs and fat lower or build more muscle back, right? Which I prefer the latter because just eating less and less and less and less and less as you get older is just going to kind of deteriorate you. And that's how we see people in their 60s and 70s, pretty young if you ask me, in wheelchairs, in walkers, hunched over, can't move, can't get on the floor, can't get up from the floor, can't get on their knees because they've lost that strength. Okay? So muscle's so important. And the way we do that, the way we tell our body, hey, muscle's important here, let's keep that, is we do two things. We want to make sure we're eating macro balanced meals, like I talked about before, and we have the right good stress on the body. Tracking your macros, I'm going to talk about that more in a second, is going to give you the right fuel or raw materials into your mouth, into your body that can assimilate properly. And then weight training with progressive overload is the good stress that tells your body what to do with the raw materials that you just consumed. Okay? So when you do those two things, if I were to eat a big old pizza, a bunch of pizza, pretty high in carbs, right? But then I was like, I'm going to go weight train after that. Instead of shuttling all of those carbs to my, body fat stores, it might actually benefit my muscle protein synthesis or my muscle growth because now I have so much raw material to build and like really go at it in the gym. Okay. So just because you ate bad, so to speak, right? Quote unquote bad, doesn't mean it's a lost cause if you're working on building that muscle back because then your body's like, oh, cool, we have this. Great. So I have like gorged myself Thanksgiving. The next day I'm like, I'm hitting the gym because I want to use all this stuff. Like I want that muscle growth, right? Because that's going to keep me long term in a healthy weight that I want to be. And when you focus on building that muscle, that's going to take care of itself. Okay. Long term. Okay. Tip 3. Using macros as a temporary diagnostic tool, not a forever diet. Okay, so I hear this thing online, the macros diet. Okay, people are saying the macros diet. And I actually don't really think macros can be called a diet because macros are protein, carbs, and fat. That is what all food is comprised of. Every single time you eat, you are eating macronutrients. Every single time you eat. So how can it be a macro diet when it's literally everything you eat all the time? It's just more like balanced nutrition, okay, when you understand that concept. So we are going to track our food initially so we can figure out, okay, I need this much, this many ounces of chicken breast or chicken thighs, and I need this much ounces of yogurt and this many ounces of eggs, and then like do my carbs, right? Maybe you have some fruit, banana, maybe you have a kiwi, maybe you have some sweet potato or something like that later on in the day. Those are your carbs, and then you log your fats. It's the same kind of concept, but you put it in this app and you're like, oh, my day turned into this is how much I'm eating actually in protein percentage wise of my calories. Oh, I'm only eating 10% of all of my food is coming from protein. And Shay just told me I should be eating 30% or more. That's a big clue that that's your problem. Okay. So we do this initially, we track food so we can figure out what are we eating now and what do we need to take that. And then we check in kind of periodically to keep ourselves honest. So like I'll track my food once or twice a month so that I keep myself honest. Or at minimum, you could just simply track your protein sources. That's it. You don't have to track all the carbs and all the everything else you eat. If you can track your protein, you're probably going to be pretty good within your calorie limit anyways, because it's going to keep you full. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. If it was, and you're ready to drop 10 inches in the next 30 days, I actually put together this little PDF outlining my exact step-by-step process. This is what I use with my one-on-one clients to get them to lose 10 inches in a month, okay, with their custom nutrition plan. So if you want a copy of this, I will send it right over to you. All you got to do is comment the word checklist below and I'll link it right over to you totally free. All right, that's it. Drop any questions below and let me know if you have anything else that this would be, anything else that's helpful.